The ocean needs no introduction. It's vast and mysterious, so mysterious that even a gigantic sea monster could theoretically evade the radar. And while it's safe to say humans have more or less dominated on land, the sea remains unexplored territory. And as a result, every now and then we catch a glimpse of something that we simply cannot explain. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the most mysterious sea creatures ever sighted. This is All Things Creepy. Let's begin. Number 1. The Corfu Island creature is the name given to a mysterious creature caught on tape by Scottish tourists in the Greek islands. Supposedly Harvey Robertson, who took the picture, was simply taking in the surroundings, taking a few snapshots, and upon reviewing the footage later, came across this. Speculation instantly arose as he posted the photograph online. At first glance, the creature doesn't really resemble any documented animals. The closest resemblances it shares are with marine mammals such as manatees and maybe even dolphins. It appears to have a smooth greyish texture to its skin and small beady eyes with an elongated snout. So many instantly assumed this to be some form of cryptid, an unknown creature that has evaded human detection up until now. However, I do have some issues with the story of these photographs. The guy taking the pictures claims that he didn't see this animal until after when he reviewed the photograph, so clearly this wasn't something substantial at the time. Compound this with the fact that the creature shares a lot of similarities with this inanimate plastic object and maybe isn't as mysterious as once thought. But by no means does this 100% prove anything. Of course, there are plenty of creatures that share similarities with inanimate objects, so who knows? Let me know what you think in the comments. Number 2. The Google Maps Kraken. In 2016, if you looked up a certain set of coordinates, you would find this anomaly in the middle of the ocean. Whatever it is, it measures 100 feet across, which is fairly substantial. Add to the fact that it seems to be causing a wake or disturbance in the water, cryptozoologists everywhere start speculating, claiming that this could be the Kraken, a gigantic squid surfacing, maybe some kind of prehistoric marine animal making its presence known after all these years. Giant squids tend to live extremely deep in the ocean, and up until quite recently in the early 2000s, they had never been caught on camera. It's fairly unheard of for them to surface like this, but it isn't impossible, and it also begs the question, what other gigantic deep-sea creatures have we yet to discover? Perhaps this is one of them. The major logical explanations here are that it simply is a rock, a piece of rock in the middle of the ocean that has just managed to withstand the force of the water, thus the currents and waves crashing against it, and has eventually been eroded and broken down. That's why you can't see it there anymore. But once again, this mystery remains unsolved. There's no way we could verify at that very time this was indeed a rock without being there, without having aerial footage. So let me know what you think. Number 3. The Hook Island Monster. Allegedly, photographs of this gigantic tadpole-like creature were taken in 1964 Queensland. The photographer Robert Sarek took several other photos to back up his claims. From his first-person perspective, he gauged the creature to be at least 90 feet in length, which is fairly enormous, comparable in size to a blue whale. He then claimed the creature was serpentine in appearance with green eyes. He even went as far as to notice propeller wounds on the animal, as though it had bumped into a speedboat of some sort. Supposedly, upon trying to get a closer look, the creature eventually opened its mouth in aggression and fled. The resulting photographs are of course quite interesting. The first one almost looks like it could be a shoal of fish. They often school in a tight formation like this and appear to be much larger. However, he clearly shows a zoomed in photograph, a much closer shot, where we see the animal's eyes. Whether these photographs have been doctored at all, it is hard to tell. They are quite old, from the 1960s, so the quality is restricted. Maybe there is a gigantic sea monster lurking out there in Queensland. It looks like this case will remain a mystery unless Robert Le Serec decides to admit to it being a hoax or it genuinely is real. Number 4. The Northern Ireland Lump. Caught on tape by college student Connell Malarkey, this strange humped creature was seen racing through the water. It was able to keep pace with the boat he was using to record something for his school project. The size of this creature is relatively large, comparable to that of a small marine mammal perhaps. The seas off the coast of Northern Ireland are far from tropical, so I highly doubt this is some sort of marine turtle. It's certainly a strange finding, and the way this creature swims is pretty eerie. You'd have this faceless blob just rushing towards you, and the only way to see or identify what it actually is would be to get into the water with it. There have been many speculative explanations for this, as far as a prehistoric extinct plesiosaur, which I think is quite far-fetched. The swimming pattern doesn't really seem to have undulations, which is what you'll see most of the time when a marine animal is swimming, especially this close to the surface. The way it just steamrolls through the water almost implies that it is perhaps being pushed by a propeller. Maybe this is some sort of new experimental lumpy submarine, I don't know. It could also be a hoax. Maybe they created something very makeshift and just let it drift across the water. It's all very mysterious. What do you think? Number 5. The Deepsea Shapeshifting Blob. This footage was taken almost 4,000 feet in the deep oceans. Right off the bat, things are strange. An odd symbol seems to be floating listlessly in the deep ocean. The camera follows this odd anomaly until the creature changes shape suddenly, its dark form undulating and almost dancing for the camera. This footage baffled researchers when they first saw it, and I can't blame them. What exactly is this thing? Some have speculated that it's some sort of water spirit. Some have even claimed this to be an alien seeking refuge in the oceans. The most rational explanations I could find is that it is a ctenophore, which is a species of marine invertebrate related to most jellyfish. They come in an array of colours and patterns, some are even bioluminescent. I couldn't find any matching this particular colour and pattern, however, there are so many out there, it's not too strange to suggest this is an entirely new species of ctenophore. But who knows? The ocean really is quite an alien place when you think about it. Thank you all for watching. I've decided to try a new style of video, these top 5 lists, just to mix up the content a little and stop things from getting stale. I will periodically release these alongside the regular content. Please leave me your feedback in the comments. Do you like this style? I'd love to know. Like the video if you did, share it with a friend, and of course, if you haven't already, subscribe for more creepy content.